What's up, people viewing via YouTube? My name is Pat, otherwise known as RageRover, and in today's Grand Theft Auto Online video, we're going to be doing a little bit of off-roading. And I figured today, for this particular video, we would climb Mount Chiliad. Right now we're on the south side, right off the Alamo Sea here, and today's vehicle of choice, we're going to be in my Dubsta, the one that I've got built up to be off-road and rugged, I guess you could say. But with that out of the way, let's just get right into it, and let's go ahead and climb the mountain, and hopefully we don't encounter any problems. But when it comes to off-roading, you just never know. Let's just not waste any time. And if you recognize this road from one of my other videos, we ended up using this as the old logging trail from Paleto Bay going down to the Redwood Lights track, or the construction site there. But today we're going to be using this road going back the other way, and we're going to pick up one of the trailheads going to the summit of the mountain. So... And I've always been into the off-roading scene. Not so much anymore in real life, but years ago, back in high school and college and whatnot, I did possess a couple off-roading vehicles, one of which was a 1995 RageRover, and yeah, I lifted it up, put 31s underneath of it, and added just a few extra amenities to it. And basically, the Land Rover kind of looks, the Land Rover I used to have, I kind of had it built up just like how I have this Dubsta built up. I did have a snorkel on it, I did have bumpers up put on it, and I built a custom roof rack for it. And overall, it was a really good, capable off-roading truck. Just before they really started luxurying them out, I guess you could say. But anywho, yeah, we're just gonna take our time going up here, because just like in real life, when it comes to off-roading, doing rock crawling or even simple trail riding like this, you know, I definitely don't want to be hauling ass. This ought to be interesting. Oh, really? Well, looks like we're going to need a little momentum to get up that. Oh, at the rate we're going, ought to make the summit in no time at all. Yeah, beautiful day in the session. Okay, having some big time difficulty. There we go. Definitely makes it more challenging, considering the low profile stance of this truck. But just like any real life G-Wagon, I mean, they were built to be capable of handling terrain like this. Just back it down here and give another go at it. A general rule of thumb, I mean, for any other dude that goes off-roading, I mean, usually you want to have someone there with another truck just in case you get stuck and whatnot, and or in case you end up breaking down and need a ride into town to get parts, or go back to your place and get parts or whatever in case something does break. But believe me, I've been there, done that. Yeah, this definitely makes it challenging, especially when you get to certain inclines and can't hardly make it up. Now, what's interesting is being in a first-person view in this game when you're doing some off-roading like this, when you're up on steep grades and whatnot. It doesn't look like you're really on a steep grade, but if you were to transition back out to third-person view, you can clearly see that it's like, yeah, it's actually pretty steep. So I don't want to talk to you, Brucey. Sorry. Go off to the right here because I know for a fact I won't be able to make it up on the left hand side unless I was in something with a little better ground clearance and more power. You know, when it comes to off-roading, I guess you could say when I see a line in the trail, I usually try to go for the easiest way possible. And then there'll be cases where it's like, okay, well, maybe I want to go for the hardest line just to see how challenging it can be. And also trying to keep the momentum going too. And before we know it, we'll probably make the summit here in just a few minutes. Yeah, a little bit of trivia for you about this mountain. I guess in game, according to like aircraft altimeters and actually looking at the scale size of the mountain, in reality, I think it's a little over 2,000 feet up. But there is actually a sign on the east side of the Alamo Sea. It's like a observation platform, and on that sign it claims that this mountain is like 9,000 feet or something like that. I believe it's in meters, but if you convert it over to feet, yeah, it ends up coming out to 9,000 feet, which is actually politically incorrect. But just a little bit of trivia there. Just about there. Yeah, the one thing about climbing Mount Chiliad is definitely the view once you get up to the top and actually get out and actually go out to the observation platform or off to the platform where the rail cars, or cable cars I should say, come in. And but in the online sessions, the cable cars just don't exist, which I thought was a shame, but oh well. Alright, and we are just about here. I'll pull off to the side just in case anyone wants to come by. All right, made it. No issue at all, except for some of the difficult spots that I just didn't have enough momentum or enough power to get up, I guess you could say. Oh, there's already someone up here. Haha. Let's see, what time is it now? Oh, okay. Yep, and because we're actually in an online session, nothing I can do about freezing time or anything like that. Not like, no, excuse me, not like how you can do it in director mode. But, alright. Always a nice view, especially on this late afternoon. Alright, cool. Well, I've seen enough of that. Head back down to the truck, and we'll slowly make our way down the mountain. And hopefully we can get off the mountain before it gets too dark, but don't have to really worry about it too much, I guess. Cool. And since we're going to be descending down this this mountain, I guess we'll just take our time, because I have made the mistake of going down these trails too fast, losing control, and then next you know I'm tumbling off the mountain. Pretty hilarious, but since we're just going to treat it as like a real off-roading session, I guess you could say, we're just going to play it safe. Some brighter lights going there. Whoa, whoa, too fast. Ready. Fork in the road. I think we're going to go right tonight. Yeah, the one thing I like about going down these slopes, either way, going down the mountain, either whether it be on the west side or the east side, just the view as you're descending down the mountain is pretty cool. I'm gonna go off to the left here. I suppose I could have ridden that, but it looked fairly narrow. Ooh, it gets tight here. I'm just gonna hug the hell out of the left side there. There we go. Because that doesn't look like a fun ride down if you end up going off that way. Alrighty, just about down. Well, actually we still got a ways to go. And pump our man-night descends pretty fast in this game. So one thing I noticed is night seems to outlast the daytime hours, in my opinion. But that's the Grand Theft Auto series for you. Alrighty. It's interesting. Airport down there. I think that's Mackenzie Field. Oh, I think I made a boo-boo. Step out and actually take a look here. Well, it is steep. But if I go slightly off to the right, I should be alright. Now let's go ahead and do that. It'll be interesting to do it in first-person view, to say the least. So that's why we're just going to take it slow. Ooh. Definitely some skid plate action. There we go. Yeah, not bad at all. Oops. I don't want to turn those off. Alright, I know for a fact I don't want to be going off to the right there, so we're just going to cut over to the left. Let's cut through this brush. It's funny, on the GPS it shows that there's a trail here, but it's pretty well overgrown, so therefore there's nothing here. But oh well, that's the whole purpose of off-roading. Where we're going, we don't need any roads, or however the quote goes. Another fork in the road here. We're going to go off to the left this time. And we are just about down. Really cool. So in moderation, when it came to climbing and descending that small mountain, yeah, we actually made good time. Considering we were kind of taking our time, but well, that's how it is. Alrighty, no problem at all. Cool. I'll just pull off to the side here, and there we go. Alrighty guys, well thank you for joining me on this brief off-road session, I guess you could say. Took a little longer than I thought, but I figured since we were doing it in moderation and doing it how we would actually do it in real life and climbing that small little mountain. I mean, as big as it may look in game, in reality it's actually a small mountain. I've taken off-roading trips before where I've climbed mountains as high as 12,000 feet. But anyways, I'll get more into detail about that later. So with that out of the way, I will see you guys in another video sometime soon.